Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be having a look at day 2 of the Great Northern Darwin Cup Carnival, which of course is Asian United Food Service Chief Minister's Cup Day, the 10th of July. With the carnival getting underway a week ago with the running of the Ladbrokes Darwin Guineas, the next month will fly by as we build towards the first Monday in August when the Darwin Cup will be run and won. Incidentally, many congratulations to Mark Nyan, Jason Hurricane Lyon and the connections of Trident, who created a sizable impression with his win in the Guineas. Next stop is the Derby in just over a week as he bids to keep his Triple Crown hopes alive. Another excellent card of racing has been assembled for this Saturday with some 74 acceptors in the 7 races. The first gets underway at the slightly later time of 2:20 with the last time to go at 5:50. The opener is the Sunbill Handicap. It's a 0 to 66 and this one over 1,300 metres. And in the first, my numbers are 8, 2 and 1. It was great to see him back here in Darwin. Stephen Brown, obviously a legend of these parts, trains for so many years here and obviously was a great rider in his time. Trains these days in Victoria, but he's back here with a team of about 5 for the carnival. And he saddles up my top selection here, number 8, Pembroke Castle, to be ridden by Simon Miller. Really good run, I thought, first up on the track behind Exact Replica. That was in this grade, 0 to 66, but over 1,200 metres. The extra 100 metres, I think, will suit Pembroke Castle and got home well last time. And I think he will be putting his foot right on the till. 8 on top for me. To beat number 2, Miraku. Another horse who impressed on his first up run in the top end, finished 3rd in the same race behind Exact Replica. This one trained by Jason Manning and Vanessa Rana in the saddle. So if you're thinking Pembroke Castle's a chance, obviously Miraku is the same. And in for 3rd, number 1, More Chili from the stable of Dick Leach. Good to see Dick back with a few runners here. He's had a team in Alice Springs for some months, but he's back with a number of his good gallopers here over the coming month or so. And Sonia Wiseman takes the mount here. This horse is fresh up. Hasn't raced since Alice Springs Cup Day, but did win a trial here a couple of weeks ago in impressive fashion. So in the first, my numbers are 8, 2 and 1. The second is the maiden, the FRM Refrigeration Electrical Maiden. It's over the 1,200 metres and one of them will be a maiden no longer after this. My numbers in the second, 7, 10 and 4. Going here with number 7, Prince Reuben, trained in Victoria by Shane Bottomley. Another trainer visiting the top end for the first time. Sonia Wiseman, she could be in for a pretty good day, Sons. She takes the mount here. This horse has had just the one start in Darwin, finished 4th on the 26th of June in the maiden behind Northern Factor on that occasion. Dropping back in trip, but I don't think that'll pose too many problems for Prince Reuben, and I think he can break his duck here in race 2. Ahead of number 10, Up. Very short name for a little horse trained by Paula Trenwith. Casey Hunter aboard. Only the one start here in Darwin. That was in 0 to 62 fillies and mares grade behind La Trioli. Was only beaten 3.3 lengths on that occasion. Dropping back to the maiden certainly must be considered. And my third selection, number 4, Acres Midnight, trained by Rodney Robb. Young Dylan Stanley takes the 3 kilograms off, takes the mount. And Acres Midnight just had the one start in the top end. That was for a second placing at Adelaide River on the 5th of June. So hasn't had a run for about 5 weeks, but did enough on that day to have it right in the mix here. Numbers in the second, 7, 10 and 4. The third is the CJD Equipment Handicap. This one over the 1,200 as well, and it's for the 0 to 76 sprinters. My numbers here are 1, 5 and 7. Like the way this horse got home in his only run in Darwin, number 1, Thermosa, trained by Rodney Robb. Dylan Stanley aboard. The 3 kilo claim is important here. It takes his weight from the 61.5 kilograms down to 58.5. And Thermosa's only had the 23 career starts for 7 wins and 6 placings. So pretty talented. And he's run the other day behind Newand in the open 1,000 metres, was very good. Finished 4th on that occasion. They ran a slick time. And I think Thermosa gets an ideal opportunity here as he hunts a place in the Palmerston in about 3 weeks' time. So number 1 on top for me. Ahead of a number... what is that there? Number 5, Bolt I Am. Good run, I thought, here last week for Kim Healy. Casey Hunter aboard again. Backing up, of course, was, as I say, just did race last week behind Eastwood. Only beaten 0.3 of a length. It was a really good run. So as long as he backs up Bolt I Am, the 7-year-old by My Boy Charlie, must be right in the mix. And in for 3rd, number 7, the good mare Dizzy Miss Lizzie, trained by Gary Clark. He had a great day last week with 4 winners to kick off the carnival. And Paul Denton takes the mount here. Second last time out behind So Stoic was a good run, and she's a quality mare on her day. In the third, 1, 5 and 7. The fourth, the Arctic Installations Trobus Handicap. This is the 3-year-old event, a benchmark 66, and it's over the 1100 sprint trip. Numbers here, 2, 4, 6. Going here with number 2, Global Wonder for Gary Clark and Paul Denton. It's run here the other day behind Syncline against older opposition. I thought was really good. Only just went down in a slick time once again. Back to its own age group and racing consistently overall. I think can break through for a well-deserved win. Number 2, Global Wonder. To beat number 4, a newcomer to Darwin, Little Town Blues, trained by Phil Cole and Wayne Davis in the saddle. Second last time out at Balaclava, that was the 12th of May. So having its first start here in the top end, but comes here with some decent form to recommend. In my third selection, number 6, the Alice Springs Visitor Butterfingers, trained by Terry and Leanne Gillette. Stan Sakos in the saddle. First start in Darwin. Its last 2 starts in Alice Springs. It beat Trident in one of those and finished second to Trident in the other. Trident, of course, won the Guineas last week, and this horse has had a trial on the track and went quite okay. Numbers in the 4th, 2, 4 and 6. The 5th, the AFA Insurance Handicap over the 1,000 metres for the 0 to 58 gallopers, and my numbers here, 3, 5 and 1. Impressed with this horse the other day at the trials, Mr. Monaro, trained by Mark Nyan. We know what a good horseman Mark is, of course trains Trident, and Dylan Stanley takes them out, takes 3 kilos off. This horse is by Moshe out of a former really good mare that was trained here and raced well in the territory called Dasham Halo. A number of you might remember her, and was ridden on a lot of occasions by Jan Cameron, former jockey, and Jan's got a share in Mr. Monaro. And just the way this horse trialled the other day leads me to think that it'll take a power of beating here first up in the top end on race day. 3 on top for me. To beat number 5, Power Rush, trained by Phil Cole. Jess Philpott takes the mount here. Down in grade from its last start, 5th placing behind Rock Atomic. So that's pretty good form. Rock Atomic has come out and won again since. And in for third, number 1, Don't Wait. Fresh up for Tayan Holter, Vanessa Arnott aboard. Last started in Alice Springs on Cup Day, finished second on that occasion behind Mathematics, and can go a bold race fresh. In the 5th, 3, 5 and 1. The feature is the Asian United Food Service Chief Minister's Cup, $60,000 up for grabs, the open handicap, and of course it's over a mile, one of the key lead-ups to the Great Northern Darwin Cup, and a really, really good field and a tough one to work out, I can tell you. My numbers here, 9, 7 and 2. I'm going with number 9, Highly Decorated, the most improved horse in the territory by far, trained by Nicole Brueggemann, Jess Philpott aboard. This horse, when it won its first race here in Darwin, and it's won its last 5 by the way, was a 48 rater. It is now a 76 rater, and this horse won the Rowan Cup last time, won the Adelaide River Cup the start before. It is flying, and there's no reason to not put it on top. So won last week here in the Rowan Cup, but the backup shouldn't worry it. It's just going so well, this horse. Got it on top, Highly Decorated. Number 9. To beat number 7, Reserve Street. Like the way this horse got home the other day for 5th. That was behind Highly Decorated in the Rowan Cup. Paul Denton rides for Gary Clark. And my third selection in a really good field, number 2, Noir de Roux. Jason Manning and Vanessa Arnott at the combo. Hasn't raced for 4 weeks since winning at its first start in Darwin over 1,200 metres. But I'm sure Jason's got it up to the mark for this feature race. And I've got it in to run third. And that's leaving out the Alice Springs Cup winner, I Am the Fox. He'll race well for sure, as will Chaonic. It's a really good race, the Chief Ministers this year. But I'm settled on the numbers of 9, 7 and 2. Our last, also over the 1,600 metres, is a Merit Partners Handicap. This one, the 0 to 62 over the mile. And my numbers are 11, 3 and 4. 11 over the page is Super Veloce, trained by Paula Trenwith and Paul Denton in the saddle. Only had the one start in Darwin this campaign, finished 4th over a mile behind Ting Hui Feng Lai. And of course that horse won a slasher last week, went second in the Guineas. Would only have to reproduce that performance, and had that run over a mile under its belt and should be improved by it. So number 11 on top for me. To beat number 3, and that's It's Magic, trained by Heather Lehman. Sonia Wiseman aboard. 2 good starts, 2 good runs rather in Darwin, a 5th and a 4th. And knocking on the door, the mile will suit. And in for third, number 4, Taciturn. Second last time out, third the start before, and second last week here behind Bolek. Paul Shires takes the mount here for Gary Clark. 11, 3 and 4 in the last on what's going to be a sensational day of racing, day 2 of the carnival. Best bet of the day comes up in race 5. Really keen on this horse, number 2, Mr. Monaro. Showed plenty at the trials and a good time. Mark 9, his little team is flying, and Dylan Stanley takes them out. Race 5, number 2, Mr. Monaro. Best of the day, well, the best roughies in the last. Race 7, number 9, Wicked Rhythm. Didn't mind its run here last Saturday. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. We'll be back early next week to have a look at Bridge Toyota Ladies' Day, which of course will be day 3 of the carnival, and that takes place on Wednesday, the 14th of July. Until then, good luck and good punting.